A friend asked another friend, "When was the first time you lied?" The other friend thought for a moment and said, "It was when I said I always tell the truth." This is because truth and lies are often mixed together in our lives, making it hard to tell them apart. There's a story about a teacher who gave his student a special robe and sent him to teach others in a town. The student was very successful, and everyone liked him. But the teacher wasn't happy when he heard this. He asked the student to return the robe. The student was confused and asked why. The teacher said, "It's because everyone likes you, and that makes me think you might be changing who you are to please others." The student replied, "That's because you're kind." The teacher got angry and said, "If everyone likes you, it means you have stopped telling the truth." The truth isn't always easy to see. People think differently, and that's okay. Sometimes, two people can disagree on what's true. Our thoughts and feelings shape how we see the things. If we change how we look at something, our understanding of it changes too. When people have different priorities, they might say different things about the same truth. For example, dew can be seen as both a beautiful morning sight and a sad reminder of a difficult night. If we change how we look at something, our understanding of it changes too. We teach our kids to be honest, but we also tell them stories that aren't true. These stories can be fun and imaginative, but they can also be confusing. What do kids learn about truth from these stories? The truth is, our understanding of the world is shaped by our experiences and perspectives. We express ourselves through creative works like stories, plays, and poetry, which are all forms of truth in their own way. But there's no one right truth, just different ways of seeing things. Let's think about what makes something true or false. Rumi's Masnavi is a famous Persian book, but many of its stories aren't factually true. So, what makes them truthful? It's because Rumi is a respected author, and his stories convey deeper meanings. If someone else told the same stories, they might not be seen as true. This shows that truth can depend on who's telling the story and in what context. The key takeaway is that truth is not always absolute. It can change based on the situation and the person sharing it. Here's an important idea. The truth can look different depending on who is saying it. If someone who usually lies speaks the truth, it might mean the truth is in trouble. Real truth is simple and often comes from people who are genuine, like children. When someone who is usually honest lies, it might be for a good reason. But when someone who lies often speaks the truth, it's often just pretending. This is called hypocrisy. A hypocrite is someone who says different things to different people to get what they want. They might say one thing to people who believe in something and another thing when they're alone. They want to be liked by everyone, even if it means being dishonest. Saying something true doesn't always make sense. For example, listing unrelated facts like "the earth is round" and "today is Saturday" doesn't provide meaningful information because they're not connected. It also highlights that truth can be different depending on the situation or context. The key point is that just because something is true, it doesn't mean it's relevant or significant. Just because something is true, it doesn't mean it's relevant or meaningful. It highlights that truth can vary depending on the situation, a person's knowledge, and their beliefs. For example, what is true for someone who is rich might not be the same for someone who is poor. Similarly, A person with more knowledge might see things differently than someone with less knowledge. People's understanding of human beings varies based on their individual experiences and perspectives. It highlights that there are many different statements that can be made about humans, some of which may seem contradictory. For example, some people might say that humans are the best creation, while others might believe that humans are oppressed or ignorant. Some might see humans as being proud and accomplished, while others might view them as being ashamed of their actions. Man loses much in the world as well as gains much. Man neither loses nor attains anything. He only comes and goes. In short, the truth of the word human is so broad that it has no meaning. Man is everything. Man is nothing. What is true about man? Nothing can be decided. Man calls his own belief true and the beliefs of others a lie. If we die for our country, we are martyrs. If the enemy dies for their country, then he is destined for this hell. We cannot think that the belief of others is as much worthy of respect for them as our belief is for us. The Creator himself created good and evil. Nature has given the gold in the hand of some and placed the crown on the head of some. The happiness of one is the sorrow of another. How can the recognition of truth and falsehood be the same? We take what we see for granted. The telescope, the wise man has proven that what we see is not necessarily true. We are still, but we are moving. Our age is increasing, but our age is decreasing. It is true that science has given man comforts and protection. He has been lifted from the earth and brought to the sky. Science has given us many benefits, like comfort and security. It has allowed us to explore space. However, it has also made our lives more complicated and introduced new risks. What we consider true or false can vary depending on our perspective. The truth is not always absolute, and what is true for one person or culture may not be true for another. As we move forward, it's essential to consider the complexities of progress and the impact it has on our lives. What's true for one person or time might not be true for another. Things can look different depending on how close or far away you are. We all have our own ideas about what's real, and we choose what we like. But sometimes, our choices can hurt us. It's up to us to decide what's true for ourselves. When we're on a journey to discover the truth, we often encounter different perspectives. What we like or dislike isn't always what's good or bad for us. Sometimes, things can be misleading. For example, if someone builds a place of worship with bad intentions, it's not truly serving its purpose. The truth is not always clear-cut, and different people can have different interpretations. It's essential to consider the context and motivations behind things to understand what's truly going on. Truth can be tricky to understand because it's connected to what we believe. Instead of searching for truth, we can focus on being honest and truthful. When we're truthful, our words are genuine and trustworthy. It's a mindset that can help us navigate life's complexities. Truth isn't something we can find by searching for it. Instead, we can focus on being truthful. When we believe in someone who is honest and trustworthy, their words become reliable. To truly understand life, we need to accept what's true with an open and innocent heart. By following the path of righteousness, we can discover the true meaning of truth. Righteousness is the opposite of falsehood and ignorance. When we add our own thoughts to the words of the righteous, it can create problems. The righteous speak from inspiration, but we often add unclear meanings. The truth should be presented as is, without being altered or dressed up. Every comment adds value to our growing community. Whether it's a key takeaway, a question, or a personal story, we encourage you to share it. You never know who might be inspired or encouraged by your words. Let's continue to support and uplift one another as we grow together on this journey. Kindly share, comment in the comments below. Your feedback is crucial in helping us achieve that goal. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.